All right, folks. Well, I don't usually do videos like this, simply because I try to stay away from nonsense like this, but more often than not, when I do get drug into stuff like this, I simply get drug into it because I have no way out. But on, see, the Granthum's more recent video where he did the freezing test on the rifle, I commented on an individual. Um, Now, he's not the one that said all of this, but there's this other, he's the other gentleman, but I was agreeing with him. Basically, it's about how the M14, you know, Grand Thumb didn't give the M14 another chance after freezing it, simply because the hammer fell forward after he pulled the hammer catch released, and the hammer didn't fall forward because it was frozen. Anyway, yada yada, it's all that, and you know, I'm an avid M14 fan, and I always will be. Uh, I'm an avid fan of the AR-15 and the AK as well. I like all sorts of different guns. I'm not limited to just any one kind. But this other gentleman came here. His name is Marcus Borderlands, and he's telling me he goes on this big long tirade here, trying to make me have a come to Jesus moment that the M14 is, in his opinion, a piece of a junk rifle, that it's not worth owning. And I always love these types. I've been in several arguments with these types of people on the M14. And they follow the same thing. They go down the list of reasons why the M14 is bad. It's too heavy. It's hard to accurize. It didn't last that long in an official mainline service, and the banter that's been repeated since you know 2006 or whenever the internet started. There's always every rifle has its haters. But I always love the ones, because you guys know me. I've owned my M1A since 2015, and I've played with it. And you guys seen me. I've got it to work, and it runs well, and I figured out what it likes to shoot, and it's a fine rifle. I love it. But I always like these types. They try to make you uh, change your opinion on the weapon. Like, somehow or another, they're going to magically, if they just sit here and berate you over the head, like somebody from the, Westboro Baptist Church, they just come up and start beating you on the head with their version of events, or how they see things. You'll just eventually, you'll be like, oh, I've realized the error of my ways, and I'll take my M14 out in the backyard and beat it into a fence post with a sledgehammer. No. But the whole reason I'm making this video, it's not because he's bashing the M14. I don't give a diddly damn about that. There's enough people that hate on the M14. And, you can hate the M14 if you want to. I mean, it is a free country. If you want to go buy a whole pickup truck full of M14 rifles and routinely beat them into fence posts throughout the countryside, be my guest. You're only hurting your own wallet and tickling your own self-esteem at that point. Go for it. I'm on my side of the fence, and there's no way anybody could ever convince me that the M14 is a bad rifle. Is it the best rifle ever made? No, but a bad rifle it is not. Well, anyway, he goes through this whole big old list here. He says heavy is bad, no buts, seriously. And real quick, I will say here in one of his previous comments to me, he said, legitimately go buy a lightweight AR-10. He says lightweight AR-10 and configure it the same as your M1A. Well, in order for me to configure it the same as my M1A, I'd have to get a medium weight barrel because I have an M1A loaded. But real quick, I got the SR25 here. Let's see how much of a feather this outfit is. Oh, yes. That's the match rifle there. Oh, yes. Don't you see? It's as light as a feather. Yes. SR25. I know there was other variants listed there, but at the end of the day, they are all going to get heavy. So he carries on about weight. But what I am making this video on, the whole reason I'm even doing this is because what he said right here. He said, Vietnam vets are not a reliable source of information, no matter how much you respect them. They are often wrong about a lot of things. See, plus they not only got to use the M14 during the war, they only got to use the M14 during the war, not FALs and G3s. Basically what I said was this. Was wow, just wow. You must be in some high up position on the chain to question whether veterans are a reliable source of information or not. Now, let's see what this individual's credentials are here to make such bold claims. Well, he certainly is in a position of knowing weights and how weapons perform, don't you see? Yes. Yes. But, me, I don't know anything about guns. I've never shot any of them and all that. But him, on the other hand, yeah, he can, say veterans don't know what they're talking about and their experiences weren't meaningful or had any impact. Because he's clearly high up there. He's got all the experience. He knows best. So yes. Who am I to question such authority?